to teach you guys today will work even if you guys are a beginner, and even if you guys have a low bankroll. It even works if you guys have a busy schedule. This system works for anyone, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how. And the reason why I can make such a bold statement is because I've been able to help many people throughout the years of experience. Sean, he made 6,000 after 4 days. AJ, he makes between 9,000 to 10,000 a month, like passively, and he's considered a sharp bettor himself now. These are real people with real results, and they're using the exact same system that I'm about to teach you guys tonight. And I know what you guys might be thinking. You guys may be saying, like, I don't have a lot of money. Well, guys, you can get started with literally $300 to $500. Like, money should never be an issue. If it's stopping you from striving to the next level. So, example here, right? I have Alex, and he started with a $500 bankroll, and now you could see he has 7,607. So he generated 7,100 in profit, just in profit. So you might be thinking also like, yo, I don't have time. Like, listen, you guys only need 30 minutes to an hour a day. That's it. There's literally less time that you guys spend scrolling on Instagram. If you guys look at Christian here, he makes 5K a month passively, and he's working a full-time job. He has, like, stuff to do on the weekend. He has a family, all these responsibilities, but he's still crushing it using the system. You might also think, but like, I have no previous experience. Perfect. Like, you don't have any previous experience, make money. You don't have any previous experience, so you don't have no habits to get rid of. You guys know what I'm saying? Like, that's perfect. You do not need previous experience to be profitable. So you guys also might think that is a concern, but the thing is, here I have my friend here, Himi, and he started off as a friend, and I turned him into my client. He didn't know anything about sports betting in general, and I turned him into a money-making machine. He generated $14,000 in his first 28 days with no prior experience, guys. So that's a perfect example of not having experience and still crushing it. So, guys, who am I, and like, why you should listen to me? So, listen, I'm JK, and I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I grew up in Montreal, Canada, with no money to my name. I was pretty broke, working a miserable warehouse job for $15 an hour. I had zero freedom and zero control over my life, guys. Now, fast forward to today, I've collected over $300,000 in cash from sports betting, and I'm consistently making $10,000 to $15,000 a month. Also, I bought myself a nice car, and I'm now living a life on my own terms. I've also built like an audience of 27,000, and these people are all learning from me, and I've helped over 2,000 people just in my Telegram groups. As most of you guys know, I have a huge community, and my students have collectively made $472,000 using the same system that I'm about to teach you guys tonight. So this is also the same system that I've used to train influencers like Smooth Geo, K Showtime, and Jay Wonder as well. These guys are pushing their own motion, and they're still hitting my bets, and they're also using my system and learning they're making extra money on the side, So before we go any further though, I wanna make like a deal with you guys. So here's what we're gonna do, right? So everyone knows that you only value what you pay for. So I want you guys to agree right now that we treating this information as if you guys just paid $2,000 out of your own hard-earned servings. And I want you guys to lean in, take notes, and give me your undivided attention for the next hour, guys. And if you guys can agree to that, type yes in the chat right now. Right? Why is this free, guys? Now, you guys are probably wondering, why am I giving it away for free? Like, that's a fair question, and I get hundreds of DMs a day. People they be asking me how I'm successful with sports betting, and this is like my best way to answer everyone. And I've never done this besides the last time on December 7th. So I felt like it would be great to put my community on, and this is the best way for me to address everyone's questions. So now, in our small amount of time together, guys, my goal is to make a big impact, and here's our agenda for tonight, right? So I'm going to be walking you through my 3-step sports betting blueprint, and at the end of the class, I'm going to have a Q&A session to personally answer everyone's questions. And for those who stick with me until the very end, you guys will have a gift. So before we dive in, guys, we need to change this. We need to address something really, and that's like the identity. So a lot of people who commit to sports betting or do it as a side hustle or whatever it is, they have this identity, and as long as they have this identity, they'll always get gambler results. So you'll chase losses, you'll make emotional bets, and you'll lose money. Now tonight we're shifting that identity, right? We're shifting that identity to I'm an investor, and that's where you have that identity, you'll get the results of an investor. And I can confidently say this because that's exactly what I am. And Ryan, he recently hit 18K bankroll. Now, if I remember right, he started with 2.5K US. So he flipped all the way to 18K, and that's considered an investment, bro. So Larry, my guy here, he started with 300, and now he has the $8,000 bankroll up to now. System is giving my dream reality, and it could do the same for you guys if you guys are ready to learn the right skill set, right? So at the end of this training, guys, this can be you making 10K per month in profit, having the choice to quit your job if you guys want, living life on your own terms. This is easier than you guys think. You just have to be willing to take the action. Have you guys lost in sports betting in the last 30 days? So I'm assuming that's a yes. So if you did, and that's fine because everyone takes a loss here and there. And are you guys struggling to stay disciplined and focused? And this right here is the most important part. So staying disciplined and focused, like if you want to put your all in, if you want to start something, you have to put your all into it, right? You guys have to stay disciplined and focused. So what I'm going to guarantee you guys is it's not like a guaranteed wins scam. I'm not promising you'll win every bet. What I'm showing you guys is a system, and that simple system you can execute it on autopilot, right? So now why is this free information so valuable, guys? Here you go, right? So the betting market, it's valued at $108 billion in 2024. We're in 2025 now, and by 2030, it's projected to reach literally $198 billion. So it's crazy. Like this market is insane, and to make your first $10,000, guys, you only need to have 1/10 millionth of the market, and that's 0.000001% of the market. So, which is pretty amazing. So, are you guys ready to learn my 3-step sports betting blueprint? Comment yes, guys, if you guys are ready to learn. Get a pen and paper, close all your tabs, guys, and cut off all distractions, and let's start. Because this time I want you guys taking notes. Start taking notes right away. Step 1 is the math. It's finding value. Step 2 is the discipline. It's protecting your bankroll, guys. And step 3 is the review and execution, which is making the bets. So, right? Let's get started. Step 1 is all about the math, guys. So here's the thing about math. As you guys know, it's objective, and it doesn't care about your feelings, and it doesn't care about your opinions. The math of sports betting, guys, it's super simple. It's all about one thing, and that's finding value. Okay? What is value? It's like when your team has a better chance of winning than what the sport book presumes it to be. So how do we identify value, guys? So your team's win probability versus the sportsbook probability, right? Now, if your number is higher than their number, you guys have found an advantage. And here's exactly how we're going to identify that. So finding the sportsbook probability, guys, it's pretty easy. It's listed right on the screen, but we must find our team's win probability. We also call this the true probability. Okay, guys? So the true probability, it's just a fancy word for confidence. It is the percentage chance that you guys think the team has to win based on your research. Okay, we find the true probability using a simple checklist. Now, that checklist consists of stats. Does the team have better offense or defense? Injuries. Is the other team missing key players? And sharp money. Are the pros betting on them? Okay, guys? You must always start at a 50% probability, which is a tie. And if each category is positively affecting your team, guys, you must add 5%. And vice versa, if each category is negatively affecting your team, you'll reduce 5%. Okay? So I'll give you guys an example here. We're betting on the Chiefs here. Okay, guys? So there's Kansas City versus Bills. And remember, this is how we find value. So let's say that the odd maker is starting at a 50% rate. They're paying even on both sides, okay? So that gives a 50% probability win rate according to the sports book. Now, Kansas City Chiefs has better stats. Yes. Okay, according to the research, we came up with the answer yes. So we're going to add 5%. Now, the Bills injuries, let's say they have more injured players. We're going to say that's an advantage for Kansas City. So we're going to say yes and add another 5%. Experts that are betting on Chiefs too, that's a yes as well, because we found that the sharp money is there. And that's a yes as well. So we're going to add another 5%. So now we have, remember, the base, which we started at, which is 50. We're going to add 5 for Bills injuries, and add 5 for experts betting on Chiefs. Now we're at true probability of a 65%. So, guys, there's another advanced way to find the true probability, and that's my 2-page mega checklist that's proven to produce 77% accurate predictions, which I haven't published anywhere. Okay, I want you guys to know, as you guys get more experienced, you will learn to add more factors to your checklist. So for now, the 3 that I'm giving away, and it's injuries, stats, and sharp money. Okay? So, guys, don't worry. The checklist I gave you, it's still enough to find value, and it is enough to make you profitable. Next, guys, we need to know exactly how much profit we can expect to make on this bet. This is still part of finding value, okay? So we calculate the profit, and we use something called the EV formula, which is the expected value, okay, guys? So this is the formula. It's true probability, which we just went over, how to calculate your true probability, which was 65 for that example, and the payout, which is, for example, calculated by what they pay you for every $1 you bet. So if it was a 50%, they would pay you $1 would pay you $1. So it would be true probability, which would be 0.65, and then you would do $1 because then you would do 2.0, my bad, I'm so sorry, 2.0 times 2.0, and then you would do -1. Okay, now I know that sounded a little bit hard to understand because I was very trash at explaining it, but you're going to see in the example. So guys, if the expected value is positive, you make this bet. If it's negative, you don't, okay? So this is the math that professional bettors use, guys. This is the math that the casinos use to their advantage so that they can know if they're starting a match at a losing rate. And this is the math that hedge funds use, which we'll get into. So let's see an example, guys. So here's the example, guys. So this will clear it up because I had a brain fart. So $100 on Chiefs, guys. That's the bet. Your confidence, you calculated that they have a 60% chance to win. So it's a 0.60. That's the math. It's a 0.60, okay? The payout was paying double, so it was 50%. It was an even number. So it's a 2.0. That's how it works, okay? Because you 2x your money, okay? So double your money, okay? So that's the formula. You could write it down. You could take a screenshot. $100 on the Chiefs. You calculated they have a 0.60, 60% win rate. You put it in the first slot. You do the bookie payout, which is a 2.0. So you do 0.60 times 2.0, and then you do the whole formula -1, and you'll get a number. This number should range between 1 or a little bit under 1. Now, if it's in 1 and it's above 1, there's an EV. If it's under 1, there's no EV, guys. Okay? So here you're gonna see it's a 0.20. So we can expect to make every $100 that we invest, we can expect to make a pure $20 in profit. Okay? So now that you guys know how to find value in the market, there's 2 more tools that I want to teach you that will help you become profitable. Okay, guys? And that first tool is the sharp money detector. Okay? This is how you identify where the experts are placing their bets, which is the sharp money. That's what we refer it to. Because it's so important that sharp money, it actually fluctuates the market. And when professional starts betting on a team, guys, the odds change and the sports book adjusts. Okay, guys? And if you guys can identify where the sharp money / expert money is going, you can follow it, you can find value, and you guys can make money. So in simple terms, you follow the experts. Guys, let's see an example, okay? So The sport book opens Team A with a 2.0 payout, and this pays double your money. Professional bettors drop 50K on Team A. The sport book sees the sharp money, the expert money, and they start to panic, so they'll immediately adjust the payout to a 1.70 instead of the 2.0. Okay? Now we see the reaction, so we'll bet on Team A as well. Fairly simple. So you guys find value, you guys make money, and that's exactly how the professionals do it. Okay? So I use 5 websites to get credible information on where the sharp money is moving, plus injury stats, all this stuff. And I never expose my private data sources publicly, but because you guys showed up live today, I'm gonna reveal 2 of them for you. Okay, so 2 out of my 5. So I use BetMGM mobile app. It shows the difference in money. It's one great example. Then we have https www.covers.com. So this is another great one that I like to refer and rely on. Okay, guys. My second tool. So here's the parts where you guys should be taking notes, by the way. So my second tool, guys, it's the Sucker Bets Blacklist. Now this is like a baby can learn this. Okay. So in the sports betting market, guys, there's bets that have a complete disadvantage and they're designed to make you guys lose. And those are parlays, teasers, and prop bets, okay? So I don't touch them. I don't recommend anybody to touch them. These bets, like they start with a huge advantage for the sport books. And these are the bets where the value is always negative. No matter what, whenever you do the EV formula, it will always come out negative, okay? And if you guys want to be profitable, you'll need to avoid these bets, okay? You guys need to have a blacklist. And that's a list of bets that you'll never make. Guys, so students who understand this math and who's using the sharp money detector, who's avoiding the Sucker Bets Blacklist, and they'll find positive expected value because the EV makes them profitable. That's not luck, guys. That's literally math, and that's the power of understanding value in the sports betting market. So here's our examples of students, and me too as well, who's taken advantage of the market and made returns based off of all the rules that we apply. We just went through the math and perfect. So step 2, guys, is the discipline, and that's protecting your bankroll. So it's very important that we go over this because the discipline is what separates winners from losers. And because even if you guys understand the math, even if you find value, you guys can still blow up your account if you don't manage your money right. So that's the most important part. And today we're going to walk through that. So I have one non-negotiable rule, guys, when it comes to bankroll management. And that's simply never risking more than 1 to 3% of your bankroll on a single bet, guys. This is called the bulletproof bankroll system. That's what I call it, okay? So let me guys show you some examples. Here's 2 examples, right? So we have one example of the smart student who's doing a 1% risk. He has a bankroll of 5K. His bet size is $50 at a 1% rate of the 5K. And let's say he went on a result of losing 10 in a row. Okay, guys? So his remaining bankroll would be $4,500. And he's still in the game because he now has $4,500 to work with. Okay, the amateur, on the other hand, he has a bankroll of 5K. Same as this guy, correct? Now his bet size is $500. That's 10%. He resulted in 10 losses in a row, for example, and now he's remaining broke and he blew up his account. So you guys see the difference? This guy had 10 chances in total to blow up his whole account. This guy had 10 chances and he's freaking 90% in the game. So you guys need to understand that emotional control and managing your bankroll at a 1 to 3% is so important, and it can change the game for you. And here's where most people fail, guys. So they lose a bet and they get frustrated. They want to make it back immediately. These are the people who let this eat them alive. And as soon as they take a loss, they'll just try to make it right back. So they increase their bet size and they chase losses, guys. Okay? And they lose even more. So or that they win a few bets and then they get overconfident. This is the exact opposite, and they think that they're smarter than the market, right? So they'll increase their bet size and then they'll end up losing it all. So regardless, both of those, nah, can't be doing that, guys. Okay, so emotions are the enemy, and you guys need to stick to a system. You guys need to risk 1 to 3% per bet, no matter what. All right, so write that down. And guys, here's the proof. So this is an example of me actually, where I had 3 point. I think I started with a certain amount. I'm not sure if this is the first screenshot, but I started with here. I scaled to here. I scaled to 6.4. Then I scaled to 8.2. Then I scaled to 11.5. These are all different days. Oh, look, you can even see my battery percentages are different. Yeah, days, times are different. Everything's different. Different scenarios, and I'm building it here. So it took me, I believe, 16 to like 25 days to do this. And it's possible by just risking 1 to 3% of your bankroll. Now that's what we covered through step 1 and step 2. I'm sure you guys are on the right track. You guys are following everything. Step 3 is the execution, and that's making the bets that matter. And it's also the review process. So step 3, guys, it's all about the execution. And here's the thing about it. It's the easiest step. And if you guys understand the math and you have the discipline, the execution is very simple. You just follow the system, right? So you find the expected value and you risk 1 to 3% of the bet, and then you make the bet. So the problem is that most people fail at execution because that they're overthinking, right? They second guess themselves, they let emotions get in the way, and step 3 is all about simplifying that. It's about executing with confidence, guys. Okay, so here's the framework, okay? You start with identifying the market. You start by calculating the true probability. Then you move to comparing the sportbook payouts. Then you move to calculating the EV. And if the EV is greater than 0, guys, you guys make the bet, right? So if we have the true profit, right? True profit, which is greater than 1.0, you guys risk 1 to 3% of the bankroll, and then you execute and you review. Simple. Step 1 is identity. This is the execution. I'm so sorry about the screen frozen. We're not going to go through that anymore. So the Chiefs versus Bills here. The Chiefs to win. We are betting on Chiefs to win the game, guys. And the payout is a 2.0. So the bookie is paying a 2.0 for every $1 bet. Right? So now we go calculating the true probability. So the research is we analyze the stats, we check the injuries, and we follow the sharp money. We have a confidence of 60% for the Chiefs to win. Our probability is 0.60. That's the number that we used for the math. And we'll compare it with the sports books. So they're paying 2.0, which is double your money. The translation is 2.0 equals exactly 50%. You guys think 60, or you calculated 60%, which I like to say. They think 50. They calculated 50. Since 60 is higher than 50, you guys have an advantage. So true probability times the payout minus 1. 0.60 times 2.0 minus 1. We're given a 1.20. So because it's a positive EV, we are now going to place that bet. Or not place it, but we are going to give it validation as to why it's a valuable bet, okay? So the results is a plus 0.20. Now ask yourself, is the number positive? The answer is yes. We have a 20% profit margin, guys. So now we'll proceed to step 6, which is risk calculation, okay? So your bankroll, it's 5K, for example. You're risking 1% per bet, which, like I said, I personally like to risk 3.3%. And the math is simple. 5K times 1%, it's $50. So you go, simple, execute, open the sports book, select the money line. This just means to win, guys, okay? Select the money line for the Chiefs. Type in 50, click place bet, and review, guys. So you must monitor the bets after they are placed, as the sport books hate risk, like we talked about. They want to balance money. So, because if they balance money, at the end of the day, the worst that can happen is they break even on the game, or they're making a shit ton of profit because their payouts are lower. So what they want to do is change the payouts. And if pros bet on the Chiefs, guys, the sportsbook panic and they lower the payout to stop the betting on the Chiefs. We want to see the payout dropping after we bet. Okay, guys? Now, here's why. We bought it at 2.0, and later it drops to a 1.80, guys. So the verdict is we'll get paid 2.0 while everyone new gets paid a 1.80. And we'll make more money for the same results. Okay? And this is a perfect example of where I absolutely crushed the market at a plus 155, which is just in value range. And I seen it open at a 165 and it dropped 10 cents. And I still believe that there was more value. And I believed, like, I ran it through my whole entire checklist, and Cleveland Guardians over TB Rays had more value, and they took the game on top. I made a 1.5 return on my unit. So this is my unit size, guys. I made a 1.5 return. Here's another example, right? Pittsburgh Pirates, great value range. Made a perfect return. Okay, these are more examples, basic examples. This is a 1 unit pick, 3.3% of my bankroll. This is a 6.6% of my bankroll, and this is when you're really professional. Okay, guys, I'm doing a 2 unit here. Okay, so what you guys see here is consistent, predictable profit. It's not luck. It's a repeatable system. Do you guys think that you guys can do this yourself? So how we feeling, guys? We feeling good? Are you guys ready to make some money, bro? Come on. Let's make some fucking money, man. So let's just go over some key takeaways, okay, guys? So key takeaway number 1 is you guys now realize that sports betting is $100 billion market, and you can easily make your first 10K a month, okay? Or 10K a month. You now possess the 3-step sports betting blueprint and know exactly how to execute it to become profitable. Sorry about that. You guys understand that it's not a gamble or luck, but a predictable, repeatable system.